It's always working. Let's
It
see
works
if it's
every
working.
day.
No, it doesn't work every day. Some of you have registered. We're going to go over here. Some of you registered for this uh, DMCNY.org, Direct Marketing Club of New York. And we had some issues with the registration closing. I think it's closed now. So if you want to join me, that's possible. We can get you the Zoom link. Still not sure. But I thought I'd do a warm-up and give you my take on my own. It's going to be a little more conversational, thank heaven. More interesting than just me talking. But today I control the microphone and I can do whatever I want. So whether you can make it or not, this will be archived over on WDMA.org. And we got a new subscriber yesterday, so that's cool. And, it's always, we'll put it in the members only. And so all you have to do is go over to WDMA.org and subscribe, and it'll be available in the members only section, along with every day's show notes, including today. So off we go. Let's get started. Let's go back here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglosh for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. Let's dig in, man. Let's dig in. So, is mail still relevant in the digital age? That is the question. Let's go see. I understand a lot of ad agency people are asking the question, what's the best way for me to grow my agency? Well, the fact of the matter is you want to get a client that's not that big, because you can compete against the bigger agencies for a small client and help them grow like crazy. That's the story of Adidas and Nike and stuff. And usually they'll stay with you for a few years, and that's the formula according to the 4 A's. Help your clients grow. And in mail we say help your clients grow circ. There's a lot of mailers and there's a lot of people not growing circ. Okay? Why even talk about mail? Well, people call it snail mail, junk mail, ad mail, very, very derisive. But 15 years ago, it was letters. And now, ding, you got mail. The email was the rage. But today, you've got 220 emails unread per day. I get that in about an afternoon. And oh my gosh, a letter. Right. So I believe it's the golden age of mail. The golden age. It's like never before. We always look back to the 80s when we had no internet and we were all superstar rock stars. And our convention had piles of cold shrimp on ice with cocktail sauce. Anyway, the golden age is because people think that mail is expensive. But look, Google, according to Ad Age, or Ad Week, I believe, did a study of a typical florist in a city and said they would pay about $5 per click on Google. Amazon's click rate has gone up something like 15% in just the last few months. Okay, it's up over $1. That's still a good deal, probably. Depends on if you sell anything or not. But according to Google, their bounce rate is 50%. You say, oh, well, I have landing pages. I tailor the content. I personalize my stuff. Okay, then it's 80% bounce. That means between 2 and 5 times the cost to get an engaged viewer. Okay, so take that $5 and it goes to 10 or 25 per click. And from the studies I read, once you get to the engagement, the response is similar to mail. I just wanted you to see that mail, what you think of as expensive because you've got a $1 cost per contact, let's say, but, and sure, it goes in the trash. So does your ad with Google. 98% of the people who do look at your site still don't buy. Okay, so you've got a 10-fold increase in price for click, or even more, 20-25%. Further, back in the 80s, only half the people had credit cards. Most people didn't trust placing an order over the phone or through the mail, putting a check in and think of all the work it was to buy from your favorite or seed catalog or something like that. Some of my friends in cataloging still get 20-25% of their orders through the mail, believe it or not. But those days are probably long gone. But we would basically only mail responsive people who ordered through the mail, because we felt like half of our mailing was lost. A little like Google clicks, right? 50% bounce rate. 50% of people just didn't order through the mail, so it didn't matter to mail them. So we would exclude, if we could, that 50%. Nowadays, credit card rates are, it's still not 100%. Northern Wisconsin, I understand, where they're hiding out, is only about 60%. I worked with a phone company up in northern Wisconsin, and pretty recently. But most people with some money have a credit card and are comfortable buying through the internet, online, that sort of thing, which means that no longer do we have to worry about people's propensity to buy remotely, which is what I'll call, we call it direct marketing, but it's remote marketing is really what it is. Okay, let's go on. Jill, we moved too much too soon to digital, and our sales plummeted, and Linda is no longer there. Nordstrom, our results were hurt by stopping our use of direct mail. Eric Nordstrom. Talbots, we wanted to attract a younger woman, so we killed the catalog, and after 2 years, they brought it back. Okay, but mail has declined. Don't let anybody tell you this is the Renaissance. I mean, look at this. This is since 2007. Downhill, right? And 2021, I don't expect a huge bounce back. What does that mean? Well, it means, for one thing, the mailbox is relatively empty. I remember getting, 20 catalogs in a day at Christmas. We order through the mail. We like it. I grew up with a mile or more long driveway. Anything that came in the mail was really special. And that's how I got started. And this is mailers, okay? This is mailers. This was from an article that published December of 2020, asking the question: Are you gonna grow your mail budget or shrink it or stay the same? Look at this. Almost 80% said they are going to shrink their mail budget. Okay. So no matter that there's a renaissance in Forbes of talking about mail, the reality is people don't get what's going on. People don't get the opportunity that's here. And the opportunity is an empty mailbox that you have to engage with. Let's go on. So you can either, as an agency or as a printer, find new clients, or you can figure out how to help your clients grow. And that's what we're about. Okay, your brain has 10 times more touch processing than vision processing. People read best on paper, and that lowers the effort that you have to put in to absorbing the information. Mail has about half the effort required of digital, which means that the memory is something like 8 times longer. I just ran across an incredibly great article just this morning that was published yesterday, and I'm going to probably do that tomorrow, that gets into some of the details and the studies, and we'll have them all available on the members-only site at WDMA.org tomorrow, so don't miss that. Okay, but there's incredible studies that have come out that show why mail is effective with connecting your brain to your ad. Mail not only is tangible and memorable, but mail is 100% delivered. The post office can actually let you track all of the mail that you put in, and it's free. It's called informed visibility, and the mailer can see their mail being delivered. Unbelievable, unbelievable. If your mailing list has subscribed to informed delivery, they can be notified with a little picture of what's coming from you in their email. So it's an integration. But more importantly, all that aside, we know it's delivered. We know it's delivered to a particular household in a particular neighborhood, so we know the demographics precisely. We know exactly how many people in that neighborhood and in that demographic got the mailing piece. Then we know that it's engaged with. You have to touch it. You have to feel it. You have to look at it, even if you put it in the trash. Okay? And not everybody in the household can throw things in the mail in the trash. In our family, we didn't even let the kids go get the mail because it would end up along the roadside. And much less let them touch it and throw it in the trash. Our household decision maker, my wife, would do all of the mail sorting where it went to the trash. I could look through it. I could pull out the stuff for me. I'm allowed to do that. But don't start throwing the stuff in the trash otherwise. Okay, 100% delivered, 100% engagement, and 100% decision maker. There's no other medium in the world that gives you all that. There is none other. And even more importantly, we know who engaged and did not buy. What does that mean? Well, in mass media or in digital, think mass media, it's easier. The TV's on, nobody's in the room. The Nielsen ratings diary says, oh, the TV's on. They watched this commercial. Sure enough, lickety split. That commercial got all these viewers. Nobody was in the room. We were getting a sandwich. Or we got a phone call and it's running and we're in the room and we aren't paying attention. And the same thing is true in digital, right? One of the great things about digital and mass media is the ad goes away if you ignore it. So we learn to ignore it. We learn to ignore the side of the page that the ads are on, right? We learn to ignore it. You do it, I do it. I bet you've seen 100 digital ads already today and you can't remember any of them. I bet you can't. I can't. Nah, you say, well, he's old. He doesn't remember anything. Oh, yeah? You try doing this live every day. See how you do. Anyway, we know who did not buy, and that's the missing piece. That's the piece that's required for machine learning. It doesn't help us to know that, oh, it went to people 35 to 55 with $50,000 plus income. It was put in front of them. But who actually looked at it? That's called a labeled data set. AI requires a labeled data set. Like when IBM tried to teach Watson to play Jeopardy. They had 127,000 Jeopardy questions. They could write the algorithm. They could see what Watson got right, what he got wrong. Then they could tweak it. Because they knew the right answer and the wrong answer. The people that didn't see your ad don't help you in machine learning. The people that it was in front of and didn't pay any attention don't help you. What you need is a data set that gives you the people that engaged and didn't buy and engaged and did buy. That's what you need. Mail gives you that. Digital can't give it to you. You don't know who's paying attention. In mail, you have to pay attention. It has to be a decision maker. It's in the household. We know where it ships. We can do a matchback analysis, and we know who saw it and didn't buy. So let's just talk about case studies, okay? 25 years ago, Cabela's asked us to fix their mailing circulation system. They said it's really bad. They said, we get complaints all the time. Why are you sending me all this hunting stuff? Why are you sending me all this fishing stuff? Okay, the first time they used our system, they told us we made them $2.4 million in unexpected profit. One mailing. That was a big mailing, I admit. That's still a lot of money. Baseball Express, we grew from 5 to 50 million. Adobe, business to business, we doubled the circulation. We increased their profit per piece 74% at the same time. Try doing that. It was worth a fortune. They sold out to Getty. We got fired. That's what happens when you dramatically increase a company's valuation. Musician's Friend, unknown to us, tested us 11 times against 8 different modeling companies around the world. The last time, according to Travis Seaton from Cohere One, I got a letter from him. He said, did you know they're accusing you of cheating? I said, cheating what? He said they've been testing you for a couple of years now against all the other modeling companies they can find. I said, I didn't even know. He said, that's what we thought. Well, anyway, so UCLA professors are claiming, and Guitar Center IT are claiming that you must have cheated because nobody beats anybody by 321% on a uniques test. It's just not possible. Well, too bad. It is. It is possible, and it happens. So you might want to check out my book, Spinning Straw into Gold, about how to do that, turn data into money. But I just want to tell you, I was a pioneer in this before anybody tried to do any of it. So we have a good track record. Bullock and Jones, we grew dramatically. And then they got bought out by Saks Fifth Avenue, who basically destroyed all the data and grew it from 20 million down to 7 in only about a year and a half. We spun off a casual wear, we spun off a footwear, and we spun off a golf wear. For Adobe, we did line extension where we went from clip art into digital images and into fonts for Adobe. Windham Hill, we found them a whole new market, and we took them from, we generated 600,000 leads in 6 months, which converted at 15% for 90,000 new customers. And then they sold out to BMG. Pet Edge, completely new market, business to business, but it completely flipped on its head. This was a company that had not grown in many, many years. And we grew them 20% in a recession, and then 20% the next year, and then 20% the next year. And now they sold out. It's our pattern. Hey, you know, if you want to sell your company, you want to give me a call. Okay, and then that was in the call this afternoon. They're going to ask me, what test would you run if you could only run one test? And I said, well, first I'd test mail against digital. If I'm doing only digital, definitely want to do mail. But here's what I would do in mail. What I would do in mail is I would take the people that I was going to mail, and probably start with customers, I would recommend, and I would mail 90% of what I wanted to mail. I wouldn't mail them all. And I would compare how they did, track their subsequent purchases through the next couple months, 2-3 months, right? Whatever it depends on your window, but 1 month is probably enough to get it to work. And what, as you can see, almost double here, almost double here. And what you find is the causal force of mail. Mail has the ability to build scientific field valid experiments. Other media doesn't, because you can't do the holdouts. You can't tell who didn't see your ad. The people who didn't see your ad look just like the people who did see it and didn't engage. Not in mail. We can actually measure. So Lovesac, which I think we have a case study, Lovesac, Patrick, the VP of marketing, said, you know, why are we mailing our buyers? They know our product line, which was a good question. Great question. I said that to him. I said, well, we can test it. Why don't we do that? He said, you can? I said, yeah. We'll just not mail some of them, see how they do. And, you know, we got a 300% Ebitda ROI. If you don't know what Ebitda is, ask your CFO. Baseball Express, we did line extension. We launched Softball Express, and we also launched the girls fast pitch. Lovesac, yeah, we started working with them in 2014. They'd had steady growth, but it was all based on opening new stores. And we found some things out with mail. We were able to do that valid testing. They were still doing a ton of media, digital, putting a lot of money into their website and their customer experience. But we found stuff with such certainty that they could change their media approach and pour gas on what we'd come up with. I didn't come up with all that. I just showed them how to find what was really working in the mix. And once they found it, they took it and ran with it. And it was explosive. It was the best growth year ever, and they went public, and you know the story. Okay, so the number one growth path, find new clients or help your clients grow Circ. We've been in the business of growing Circ for almost 40 years now. Almost 40 years. Somebody came up to me after one of my speeches at the DMA, if you remember the DMA, and asked me, how can we grow? I said, mail more. It sounds dumb, but it's true. And figure it out. Mail well. Here's a more recent study from a year ago where we did a mailer came to us, again, with their circulation model. And this was the gross margin percent gain compared to their circulation model. And this was the net ROI on our putting in the cost of doing it, because you got to put in both. You know, I saw a study yesterday that said that mail had twice the response rate on the shopping cart redemption. Well, that's great, but mail costs maybe 10 times more than email, maybe more. Depends on how you do it. Maybe 20 times more. So if it costs you 20 times more, is there an ROI if your response rate's only double? They always leave that part out. Okay, well, this is EBITDA, net ROI on the cost of the machine learning. Okay, so the first drop, we had about a 70% net ROI. The second drop, we had about 120%. And the third drop, we had over 350% return on investment on the cost of our services. Carefully measured. Show that to your CFO. Anyway, that's about it. You can join the WDMA. I won't say this this afternoon, noon Chicago time. I won't be saying this, but we really welcome your support. I do this every day, and it's so encouraging. Even if you just subscribe, it's very, very encouraging. We have annual memberships available for about $600. You can have about 10 members, and we're now starting to do outdoor or whatever real life meetups. We did one in Dallas last month or in May, and we're doing one in Minneapolis on the 5th of August. Yet to be determined, but probably 6 p.m. the 5th of August, if you want to pencil that in. I'll be up there for some special event, and we might as well have a get-together. It won't be as intense as this, but we can talk direct marketing all you like. Is mail relevant in the digital age? You bet. Mail is the most cutting-edge media available today. And I can prove it. Have a great day. Like and share. Your friends will know you're smart. Great to see you watching.